Turn $100 into $10,000 in 30 days. You've seen that sentence 100 times. Someone got paid every single time you saw it, and it wasn't you. Here's exactly how that machine works, and what $100 can actually do instead. Stay with me, because the real answer is better than the lie. It's just slower. Start with the moment it finds you. You finally have $100 that isn't already spoken for. It's not rent. It's not a bill. It's not owed to anyone. For once, it's just yours. And that feeling is rarer than the money itself, because most of your money arrives already dead, spent before it even lands. It comes in on Friday and it's gone by Monday, claimed by things you already owe. This $100 is different. This $100 is alive. So you do the most natural thing in the world. You pick up your phone. And your phone has been waiting for this exact moment. It knows you have a little money. It knows you feel behind. It has known for a while. Within seconds, you see it. Turn $100 into $10,000 in 30 days. A man on a balcony. A car that costs more than you make in a year. A watch. A view. A laptop open to a number that only goes up. And a voice that says the one thing you most want to hear. That you're not behind. That you can catch up. And that you can do it fast. Here's the first thing nobody tells you. That message was not made for everyone. It was made for you. Not you specifically. You as a type. Someone with a little money and a lot of pressure. Someone who feels slow. Who feels like everyone else got a head start. The ad doesn't sell a strategy. It sells relief from a feeling. And relief is the most expensive thing you can buy. Think about who never sees that ad. The person who already has $10,000 never gets shown how to make $10,000 fast. The algorithm doesn't waste it on them. They're not in pain. The ad hunts for the gap between what you have and what you think you should have. The wider that gap feels, the more the lie is worth. You are not the customer of that ad. You are the product it harvests. Let's follow the 100. Let's see where it actually goes. You click, the page loads fast, it's built to load fast. There's a countdown timer in the corner. It's lying. It resets every time you leave. There's a number of spots remaining. Also a lie. It never actually hit zero. There are screenshots of profits. Anyone can type a number into a box and screenshot it. There are comments full of strangers thanking the man. The strangers are not real. And there's the man himself, smiling. Calm. Already rich, apparently. He's not selling you a way to make money. He's selling you a way to feel like the kind of person who makes money. That's a completely different product. And it's much easier to sell. So you put in the 100. And here's where the magic is supposed to happen. It doesn't. Or worse, it does. A little. Because the most dangerous version of this isn't the one that fails immediately. The one that fails fast actually saves you. You lose 100 and you leave. The dangerous one is the one that works just enough to keep you inside. Your 100 becomes 120. You feel something light up. Then it slides to 110. Then 90. Then it jumps to 140. And your brain does something cruel. It remembers the wins and quietly deletes the losses. You replay the moment it hit 140. You forget the slide to 90. That's not a flaw in you. That's the entire design. The system isn't broken when it scares you, then thrills you, then scares you again. That's it working perfectly. The fear is the product. The hope is the bait. And you are the revenue. Let me show you the machine from the inside. There are really only 4 ways to promise someone $10,000 from 100. And every single one of them takes the 100 in the end. Door 1 is the obvious scam. The money goes in and never comes back out. You see a balance on a screen. The screen is just pixels. There's nothing behind it. You watch your number climb. It feels incredible. It is completely fictional. Then you try to withdraw, and the doors start appearing. First, there's a withdrawal fee. Small. You pay it, because look at all that profit. Then there's a tax you have to clear before release. You pay that too. Then the account is flagged for verification. Send more to unlock it. Every step asks for a little more. Every step is closer, they promise. The first 100 was never the target. It was just the deposit on your hope. They're not mining the 100. They're mining your refusal to admit it's gone. Door 2 is the casino dressed as a strategy. High-risk trades, maximum leverage, all-or-nothing bets on a screen full of candles. This one is sneakier because it's technically real. You really can turn 100 into 10,000 this way. Once. The same way you can put it all on red and win. Once. What they never show you is the 1,000 people who did the same thing and lost everything. You only ever hear from the one who won. The rest go silent. The survivors write glowing testimonials. The wiped out quietly delete the app. This is called survivorship bias, and the whole industry is built on it. You're not seeing a strategy that works. You're seeing the lottery winner on TV. Nobody interviews the millions who bought a ticket and got nothing. Door 3 is the pyramid wearing a suit. There is no real product. There is just the next person you recruit. Your 10,000 doesn't come from the market. It comes from someone below you. And their 10,000 has to come from someone below them. It works beautifully, right up until it doesn't. And when it stops, it doesn't slow down. It collapses all at once. The people at the top got paid by the people in the middle. The people at the bottom paid for everyone. And there are always more at the bottom. The math is fixed from the very first day. The collapse is not a risk. It's a schedule. Door 4 is the most honest of the 4, and it's still a trap. It's the guru selling you the course. Pay $100 to learn the secret. The secret, it turns out, is to sell a course teaching the secret. The only person turning 100 into 10,000 is the one with 100 students. You weren't the investor. You were the investment. 4 doors. 1 outcome. The 100 walks out and it does not come back. So here's the question that actually matters. If 10,000 in 30 days is a lie, then what is the truth? The truth is quieter. And at first it sounds like bad news. Real money is slow. It's boring. It does not photograph well. There is no balcony. There is no countdown. There is no smiling man. There's just you doing an unglamorous thing over and over for longer than feels fair. But here's the part they hope you never hear. Slow is not the same as weak. The 100 that survives quietly beats the 10,000 that was never real. So let's actually do something with the 100. Right now. On paper, forget 30 days. 30 days is the scammer's clock, not yours. Here's a framework that does the exact opposite of everything you just saw. Call it the 3 jobs. Every dollar you own can do only one of 3 jobs. Defense, offense, or you. Most people never assign their money a job at all, so it just drifts away. A dollar with no job spends itself. A dollar with a job stays and works. The first job is defense. This is money whose only purpose is to stop a small disaster from becoming a large one. A flat tire, a medical copay, a broken phone you actually need for work. Most financial catastrophes don't start big. They start at about $400. A $400 problem with no $400 behind it becomes a payday loan. The payday loan, at the rates these places charge, becomes a $600 problem. The $600 becomes a $900. The $900 eats next month before next month arrives. That's how one flat tire turns into 6 months of being behind. So the first job of your 100 isn't to grow. It's to stand guard. $100 sitting still is not doing nothing. It is blocking a door. It's not exciting. It's just the difference between a bad week and a bad year. Defense is the money that lets you say no to the scam in the first place. Because the person with zero margin is exactly who the balcony was built for. The second job is offense. This is money whose job is to grow. Slowly, boringly, reliably. Not in a 30-day countdown. In a broad, low-cost index fund. Over years. An index fund just owns a tiny slice of hundreds of companies at once. You're not betting on one stock. You're betting that the economy, overall, grows. Historically, the broad market has returned somewhere around 7 to 10% a year on average. Verify. That number sounds insulting next to 10,000% in a month, until you remember that one of those numbers is real and one is a screenshot. $100 at 8% doesn't become 10,000 in 30 days. Left alone for 20 years, it becomes roughly $466 without adding a cent. Verify. That's still not life-changing, so here's the part that is. The 100 was never the seed. The habit is the seed. $100 a month, every month, for 30 years, at that same average, grows to well over $140,000. Verify. No balcony required. Just time, consistency, and the refusal to touch it. That's the trade nobody advertises. Boredom now, for freedom later. The third job is the highest-paying job your 100 will ever have. The third job is you. $100 spent on a skill that earns you money is not an expense. It is the only investment on earth that can genuinely return 10,000%, and often does. A course that gets you a raise. A certification that opens a locked door. A tool that lets you charge more. A book that changes how you work. Raise your income by $200 a month and you've out-earned a small fortune in stocks. The guru was actually right about one thing. The fastest money really isn't a skill. He just sold you his skill instead of helping you build yours. The difference between him and the real path is who the skill belongs to at the end. So here is what your 100 actually does. Some of it stands guard, some of it grows quietly, some of it makes you worth more. None of it goes on a balcony, and all of it is still here next month. Now look at the two timelines side by side. Timeline 1. You chase 10,000 in 30 days. You feel the rush, the number climbs, then it doesn't. In 31 days you have 0, and a quiet, expensive lesson. Timeline 2. You give your 100 a real job. Nothing dramatic happens. No screenshots, no balcony. In 31 days, you still have about $100. That sounds like nothing happened, but something did. You're still in the game. And staying in the game is the entire game. The person who keeps their 100 beats the person who gambled theirs, every single time, over a long enough stretch of road. Here's the part that's going to sting a little. The reason the scam works on you isn't that you're greedy. It's that you're impatient in exactly the way being broke makes you impatient. When you don't have enough, every slow path feels like a path that leaves you behind. So a fast lie starts to feel safer than a slow truth. That impatience is not a character flaw. It's a tax you pay for not having margin. The less cushion you have, the more a 30-day promise sounds like a rescue. And the only way out of that tax is the one thing the scam promised to skip. Time. You cannot buy your way past time with $100. But you can absolutely stop paying the people who promise to sell it to you. Every dollar you don't lose to them is a dollar that keeps its job. So here's your move. Tonight, it takes about 10 minutes. Take whatever you actually have. Even if it isn't 100. Even if it's 20. Give it one of the 3 jobs. Defense, offense, or you. Not all 3, just one. Just enough to prove the boring path is real. Open the account. Move the money, buy the book, whatever the one job needs. Then mute every account that ever told you a number would change your life by Friday. Unfollow the balcony. Unfollow the countdown. Unfollow the smiling man. Because here's the truth the entire 30-day machine is built to hide. You were never going to turn 100 into 10,000 in 30 days. But you can absolutely turn 100 into 10,000. It just takes far longer than 30 days, and it always was going to. The people who told you otherwise were not lying about the 10,000. They were lying about how long it takes. And they charged you for the difference. That's the whole trick. They sold you speed, and speed was the one thing they couldn't deliver. Slow money is still money. It is the only kind that ever actually stays. So keep your 100. Give it a job. Let it stand guard or grow or make you sharper. And let the man on the balcony sell the dream to someone else. You are not behind. You were just being timed by people who profit from your panic. Turn off their clock and start the one that's actually yours.